Today, cleanup continues after yesterday's microburst storms knocked over the trees and power lines, and that bus hit a tree. This plane flipped over a fence and crashed onto two cars. Generally, the storm just upset a lot of people. We have team coverage of this morning's cleanup.
Yep, Jared Aarons is live at Montgomery Field, but we want to start with Marie Cornell live in University Heights because she has an update from city crews. Marie?
Well, Virginia, first I want to show you the kinds of things they'll be dealing with. You can see here all these trees that toppled over. We are in the old Trolley Barn Park. There's a huge pile right over there. Talking to Bill Harris with Public Works, he says this is pretty typical. Bill, talk about the damage that was left behind. What have your crews told you?
Well, it followed the path of the storm. We're looking at a lot of trees that have probably been weakened through drought. And if you look in the parks that are along Adams Avenue, North Park, Ward Canyon, this one, even in Balboa, we saw damage, unlike anything we've seen until the winter storm from years ago. It's really been tough.
And we actually we have video of some damage in Mission Valley where
Yes.
trees fell on a line of cars. Talk about property damage.
Well, there's been all kinds. In fact, last night at about 10 o'clock, SCG&E was reporting that they had 50 poles down, mostly because of trees coming across them. There's damage in this neighborhood, and it followed the track of the storm, like I say. So if you go all the way through Mission Valley up into Kearney Mesa, Montgomery Field was really hit hard. There are 10 planes that were torn from their moorings and tipped over. We lost big plate glass window in the restaurant. Even the offices were damaged up there. So again, if you watch, and if you were to look at the radar and watch how this moved yesterday, you're going to see damage everywhere.
And last question for you. What is the plan for today?
To stay very busy. We've had crews out all night, of course. We had over 50 trees in the right-of-way reported as of about 9 o'clock. We had crews work all night to get those cleared. But in park facilities like this, we're getting a ground maintenance crews in the site all morning long. We're going to be working all day long to get the trees cut up and removed. It may take a few days, to tell you the truth, because there is a lot of damage.
Well, thank you so much for the update. We will now send it back to you all in the studios.
Oh my goodness, thank you. 6:33. Our team coverage continues there from Montgomery Field, where, as you heard Bill Harris say, high winds damaged at least 10 planes, put that one of them there on top of cars. 10 News reporter Jared Aarons is there with the progress crews are making to clean up that mess, if any progress.
A little progress. I spoke with a technician here this morning. He told me this cleanup will be measured in days and not hours. And you can see some of the cleanup has already started. We've got a cleaning crew over here to take care of carpets and shutters that were blown down off the terminal building. But now as the sun is coming up, we're beginning to see just the scope of the damage to some of these planes that you mentioned were damaged. Like this one out here, you can see with the red stripe, it's got its left wing entirely on the ground. And then over here, this blue and white plane that has two wheels that look like they have completely buckled. And of course, the plane we've been showing you all morning right behind me that was thrown over the fence and crashed onto two cars. The problem is, airport officials tell me they just don't have large enough equipment to deal with this kind of wreckage. Bill, like you said, about 10 planes were tossed around or damaged by the storm last night. Many of them, like we just showed you, are still in varying states of disarray. Michael Evans owns that the blue Prius that got partially crushed by the plane. He was in the terminal when the storm hit last night and was on hold with his insurance company when he spoke to 10 News.
All of a sudden we heard a really loud noise and part of the roof came off and everybody freaked out and went back that way. I was scared. I mean, that storm was pretty bad. I mean, it was like probably what it was like down in Cabo, I'm sure. That's what it felt like out here.
The technician I spoke with this morning told me the FAA also has to come out and assess the damage. I want you to look, though, over the wing of this plane, and you'll see some business as usual here at this airport. There is a large plane that is getting set to take off and board passengers. So this airport seems to still be operational while they do the cleanup. But that cleanup will take some cranes, some forklifts, lots of heavy machinery to come in and start moving these planes around. Live at Montgomery Field, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Wow.